Hello, welcome back to another video. This time it's a review video of the Dora Wings 1/72 scale Westland Lysander. So the Lysander, a little bit of history, quite famously used for the Special Operations Executive? Sorry. So what they used to fly over to France, drop off spies, and then they would pick up like downed aircrew or spies returning from a mission and fly them back to England. At a very, very short takeoff and land, so it's what's known as a STOL aircraft. But it wasn't its apologies there. That wasn't its original intention as a transport, as you can kind of make out from the model here. So it was originally used as a artillery observer. So what you would have is you'd have this plane flying over the battlefield, and it would be radio in artillery spots and letting the commanders know, like the Germans are trying to do a flanking maneuver or something. It was given, as you can see, it was given twin machine guns at the back here to try and fight off any fighters. At the bottom here you've got bombs, and what's not obvious on this model is in the wheel spats here it would have a single machine gun, one on the right, one on the left, and typical British it'll be 303. The thing is, it's apparently too fast to be an observer, too large, which make it an easy target, and equally, because of its large frame, easy target for the German fighters. There is I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head at the moment, but there is a variant of the Lysander where instead of having, the simplest way for me to explain it is, instead of the standard tailpiece here, it would have a Lancaster's tailpiece, so the twin tail with a machine gun turret at the back there. Purpose of that is literally, other than to fight off fighters, but to, as it fly over, let's say flying over the beaches of Britain, shoot at the Germans trying to invade us. Well, at the same time, the front machine guns would be doing a similar job. It wasn't used for that role that often. Well, that variant wasn't used, and the variant of the machine gun, the bombs, wasn't used that often, and then it was swapped over for the transportation of like important people and spies, as well as getting the British pilots back from France. So there you go, a little bit of history on the Lysander. Now the model itself. To be honest, this one kind of broke my heart. It's a lovely model, it's quite a unique plane. And when I was looking at the instructions, because it's the Dora Wing kit, I was having a look at the instructions beforehand. It looked really nice, really, really good. The cockpit's got a lot, whoops, bashed the propeller. You're not going to quite see it through the canopy there. No. But the instructions shows the cockpit's really nicely detailed. It's got the fuel tank in the middle. You've got the rear machine gun bit there. And you've got the seat, and you can see all the framework on the inside there. All really, really nicely detailed, and it looked like a really promising plane. You've got the engine at the front there, that's very nice. It was an absolute pig to put together. I think the front half of it went together fairly okay. The main cockpit tub, so you put all, so it's one of these tub designs where you make the framework for the cockpit, you put all the stuff inside, and then you glue the fuselage around it. I think that if I remember correctly, the front was okay-ish. But the rear piece back here, so if I remember, there's like a flat plate back there, and I was basically I was filing it away to get it to fit, because it was like trying to like pinch it and it wasn't going together, so I was like filing away. In the end, if I remember, I had to get the pliers out and was snipping away at the base plate to get it to fit. And I'm not thick with the paint, and I filed away the painted areas as well so they can glue better. But I'm not thick. I don't put the paint on thickly, so that's not causing the problem there. But the tolerance back there was out of whack. It was not gluing together whatsoever. And the front half of the cockpit as well. So I think you can just about make out there's a little green small frame. It's almost, if you look at the inside of a cockpit, there's actually a video of one of these flying. They were testing the propeller on it. It's worth having a look if you're ever doing an interior of a Lysander. But it's almost like a little handhold at the front here. That basically had to clip into place once everything was assembled. But on top of that, there was also the compass that had to go in. And when it came around to putting the compass in, there was no space for it. It was that crowded that you couldn't put anything else in there without it, being impossible to put together. So yeah, it hit that promise so much in the cockpit, and unfortunately didn't deliver. I was a little bit annoyed as well, because I thought they put the effort into having the rear cockpit open and all the detail on the inside. Could have done the same with the front cockpit. I don't know whether that would have weakened the put too much stress on the clear plastic here. So when you glued the wings on, it would end up they would just flop over. But it'd be nice to put all that detail in to have an open cockpit. But unfortunately, nope. The rest of it went together fairly okay from memory. The engine I had a little bit of problems with. The cooling flap around here, that's one sheet of photo etch, so that had to be bent into place. But that wasn't the hardest part, weirdly. Especially when you're not compared to the cockpit. But the little bomb racks down here, I had major problems with those. It might just be me and the super glue decided not to work, but I had problems with those bomb racks. I didn't enjoy it at all. Like you see, they're all wonky, they're all... Yeah. It looks good from a distance. You look at it and I was like, that's a nice Lysander. When you start getting up close, and yeah, no. The other thing as well is, it's kind of like an odd one to put together, this. And you can kind of see the glass canopy here goes over the roundel. So, okay, like most modelers will probably leave the canopies till the very last thing. Well, this, you can't do that because the wings connect straight onto it. So it's just like, you had to glue the glass together, put the wings on, paint the whole thing up, decal it, and I was using a mixture between paintbrush, as much, I only had at the time, in fact I still only have at the time of this video going up, only have the Airfix decal solution. I don't have Microset Microsol. So I was using water, the Airfix solution, to basically try and get as close to this frame as possible. So when I eventually did glue the canopy on here at the back, it still looked fairly decent. And even then, I think when I glued this on and put the PVA around the edges, I was literally there pinching it shut the whole time. I just remember, now I've seen it, there's a little photo etch bit there as well. It's just like, yeah. I say, this one broke my heart. I'm proud of it in the end. It's there, it's on the shelf, it looks good. But the memory of trying to build this thing, yeah, it was a horrible kit to put together. I just did not like it. Though weirdly, not weirdly, but Dora Wings do make the spy version. I don't think off the top of my head it has the pure black variant. There's a painted purely black. I think one of the variants it does, which one I might do, was it was used in the out in the Pacific front, where the underside was black, but the top side was grey and green. So it was like an interesting combination. I think it's also got the Australian roundels as well. But so, despite the troubles I had with this kit, if I see that Spy version, I'm tempted to actually buy it and give this kit another try, because it is quite a cool, unique little plane. I say small, and let me just go get a Spitfire for comparison. There you go, jump cut. So there's the Lysander, and there's a Spitfire for comparison. So if I try and... there's no easy way of doing that, is there? Side by side, there you go. Look, I'm showing the plugs on the DVD collection again. You can see there, it's quite a large plane, and if I try and bring it down just for height comparison, you can see the difference there, and as well as if I spin these around a little bit, try and make a comparison lengthwise. The video makes it look like the Lysander is slightly shorter, which it is a little bit, but for comparison, yeah, it's a big plane in comparison to a Spitfire, which when you look at some of the later warplanes compared to like a Typhoon, Spitfire is tiny. So, yeah, let's get the Spitfire away. Anybody's wondering, that's a Revell Mark V, which I've done up as a cannon-armed Mark I. So, but anyway, back to the Lysander. So yeah, unfortunately, it's kit that promised so much to me, but unfortunately, just didn't deliver. But yeah, so if you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe for more videos, and comment, have you made one of these? Have I literally just had a bad kit, a lemon, or has all your ones that you've attempted to make of these, have they just been as bad to put together as this one? Yeah, I'm generally curious if I just had an odd one off, or is the entire range not that great? Please leave a comment to that effect. Okay, thanks, bye.